Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Master amongst Hammer Sages, the king of the ring himself. But your boy Thicky Smalls, Gerard Michaels in the house. Well done. Handled well.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, another great episode of Real Ass Podcast leads into your boys, Slick and Thick, here on Gas Digital. If it's Monday on Gas Digital 2 p.m., that means we are live. Live, baby. And let me tell you, what a weekend I had here, boys. I had an incredible weekend. It was New York, Anthony Cumia, the whole nine. And, I'll tell you all about it. But first, let me introduce my co-host here, all right? At 6'3", 215 pounds, and every one of them is a problem. The master of punks, the tamer of sages, the CEO of the RNC, and the king of the ring himself, Slick Mick the ruler, Mickey Gall, ladies and gentlemen.
Why, Ashante, G.
Ashante, indeed.
Ashante. Nice to see you.
Buddy, good to see you too. I was on Anthony Cumia, Compound Media, had a lot of good things to say. Big fan of the program, likes our show. And that's,
he never listened. He's lying.
You know, he might have been,
He's
but he said it out loud, and that's all that matters for the clip.
He
for
needs
the
to
clip.
listen.
But here's the real thing I need to talk to you about. You know, as a gentleman of the world, as somebody that's been around and seen a lot of things.
Are you talking about me? Or
You. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Now,
hey,
my flight was delayed. Yeah, I don't know why it's all on me the whole time.
I know.
There we
What
go.
the fuck
Thanks,
are we-
buddy. So my flight was delayed.
what did I wear this nice shirt for?
So my flight was delayed, as you well know, and it was a very,
Shit,
very.
what else is new? You like that, Ben? All right, thanks. Kristen's a little quiet about it. Anyway, are we on? Yeah, we're on. So your flight was delayed. What
As you
else
well
is
know.
fucking new?
As you well know,
Flights are always delayed.
Very, very busy 4 days, and I was supposed to get in at like 8 o'clock. I didn't get in until almost midnight, and there was a young lady. A young lady said
You aren't real.
she had she had a
Is that what she said?
she had an itch that only I could scratch. Now
You got some plain pussy?
I'm tired here. No, it's after I've landed. And I'm tired, Nick.
I'm a little.
tired.
G, I'm a little off on the storyline here.
So I land. And
All
I-
right,
and
so we're landed. So you went from flight was delayed to now you're already fucking
But
at
I
the
was
destination.
I was supposed to have plans for once I landed because I was supposed to get home at a reasonable time.
Understood.
But now I didn't get
Now
home.
now that you say all the words that
Yeah.
are important enough for me to understand the story, I'm with you. Keep going.
Sure. So as I get home, I'm a little tired, right? I'm tired.
Sure.
I'm feeling grimy. I've been in the same shit for hours.
Oh yeah, you gotta shower after the plane.
Gotta
I don't
shower
like
after the
after a plane ride. I don't want to sit on my couch. I get in my bed. Are you crazy? I don't want to get.
Especially with the absolute grotesque nature of New York these days.
No, just the
New York
airline.
is
Any
a
airline,
cesspool.
bro. And
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get into that.
A
I'm sure you can't wait. You're
A
chomping at the
cesspool.
bit to shit on
is a-
our home
it is a
fucking
toxic,
neck of the woods,
yeah.
our Jersey, New York
Still
fucking
had a,
people here.
Still had a great time.
Yeah,
But boy, does it need a bath?
Sure.
So
what
speaking
happened? Speaking of a bath,
I tried to say, but you're not going to believe me. No one's going to believe me, but this is the truth. I was so tired, I tried to say, another night.
why wouldn't I believe that?
Another night. Because, when an itch needs scratching, man's got to see it through, my guy.
Right.
Right? So
you had an itch that needed a scratch, or she had one?
No, I always have an itch that needs scratching. That's why I know when somebody else has an itch, you can't not scratch.
Yeah, you don't want to not scratch that.
No, so, by God.
You're empathetic.
That's right.
Yeah.
By God, I'll scratch that itch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With your penis.
I'll scratch that itch. So I go home feeling grotesque from being in this environment for too long.
The itch is the G spot, Ben. The G spot.
Yeah, she got itch. She got itch, needs scratching. Could also be chlamydia. Either way.
Whatever. Take a pill. What?
It don't affect
fucking
me. Don't
never
affect
had,
me. Yeah.
never got the clap
What are
before.
you?
What are you, a fucking pussy?
Grow up. Grow up.
Grow
kid,
up.
man.
Grow up and take a few chances.
Come on, grow up. So I come home. Now I start the shower. But I'm also aware that the young lady's coming over. I should do a little bit of the manscaping as well. Here's the problem, bro.
Oh, bro.
Here's the problem.
Wait.
I'm rushing.
What?
I'm rushing. I'm
What?
tired. All right? My vision's a bit blurry.
I find it hard to believe that a female is coming over to see you. It's gonna look at you and look at your unkempt bush and be like, it's over. It's over. Now I'm out. I'm out.
I needed this counsel. I needed this counsel 13 hours ago.
Bro, what are you waiting for?
You were asleep.
Yeah. I had to get up early.
So, but the problem with the manscaping is once you get started.
Something like this, it's
once you get started, you don't know where to stop.
You can't have a fucking half-trimmed lawn.
What's going on here?
Half-mowed lawn over here.
You got to do the under, you got to do the over.
You got to do a thorough job.
You got to do a thorough job.
Because like, why start? And like, I'm gonna have to start this again. Now I'm good for months.
I don't know where. It's not like a color in the lines situation here. You're freehand. You're freehand free balling.
Oh no!
And
you didn't have a razor with like where you can try to go as close as possible. But
I was tired. I was rushing. I knew that she was fast upon approach.
Okay.
And I'm trying.
So did you end up just folding it and just getting it completely?
I'm doing things by fear here. I'm doing things by feel.
Yeah.
And
like our ancestors did.
And then it happened, bud.
You clipped a nut.
Oh boy.
You clipped a nut.
Oh boy.
And now you're bleeding. Now you have an unsightly fucking
profusely.
Now you got a fucking unsightly. Like they're like, do you have? Like now they think you have something.
It was like
they're like, is that what herpes looks like? They're googling.
It was like the fucking Shining in my.
Oh, you're just.
It was unbelievable.
Drip dropping.
It's and to try to like.
You're just blooding everywhere.
It just won't stop, And I'm sitting here going like, man, oh man. So like, you like when you nick your face a little bit, you just throw a little toilet paper on there, right?
Yeah.
But again, I'm going by feel. So I can't. Where do I put the toilet paper?
Could you not identify where you were bleeding from?
I can't identify. It was on the underside of the scrotum. It was on the dark side of the moon. So and the whole thing.
I gotta be honest.
The whole thing's wet. I don't know if it's blood. I don't know if it's soap.
For a guy like me, sometimes it's like you gotta like getting into that under section. It's hard.
Yeah,
you know
now imagine you haven't seen your toes in a decade.
That's what I was about to say. Now I know you got an extra layer there.
I'm quite flexible.
God bless you for
flexible.
God bless you for attempting this feat.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Does this lady know how lucky she is?
Yes, I think she does.
Yeah.
Maybe not. She's 22 and she's hot. So I was really the lucky one here.
There you go, buddy.
There
you go.
Yeah. But, oh, man. I got to tell you, bud. It goes to show, like, one of those things, like, for nobody else. Ben, if you called me up at 11:30 and you were like, I got a flat tire, I'd be like, I wish you luck. I'm tired.
Nothing like a first sip of that Brute Seltzer.
That Brute Seltzer's good stuff. Yeah. Well, cheers. I'll cheers your Brute Seltzer with a lovely First Form orange. How good is that?
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, I do love this stuff. All's well that ends well.
So you took it down?
Took it down, Chinatown. Turns out
Did you open up your wound?
I wasn't as tired as I thought I was.
Oh, you have more energy, huh?
Once I seen the motivation.
It reinvigorated you.
This was a matter of motivation.
Reinvigorated.
Yeah, this is you're always talking about the unlimited greatness, human potential. Like anybody can be. If you see another man, I think 1 or 2 podcasts ago, Natalie, let me know.
Yeah,
Nick said,
I said it. Yeah.
If you see another man doing something, you can do it, right?
Right.
Oh, I'm going to put an addendum to that. If you see another man doing something, you can do it. And if you see a hot chick looking at you while you're doing it, you'll do it better than that other man will. They are the ultimate motivating factor.
Yeah.
We built skyscrapers to get
100%
chicks.
100%.
Yeah. Well, the first monkey that built a 2-story tent was like, babe, what do you think about that?
Yeah. Say, look what I made. Now
Look
give me that ass.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yeah, give me that monkey ass.
Come on now. Throw some of that shit over this way, huh? Why don't you chuck some of that poo over this way, babe?
Yeah. What you got over there? Oh, that's what you working with?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
look at
okay. I see
look at
you.
this. Look at this bushel of bananas. You ever seen so many bananas, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you back that red ass on up over
it's
here?
Definitely a motivating factor for sure. 100%.
Yeah, which makes you wonder like why gay dudes do anything ever.
Yeah, right.
Like one of the like.
Why do they? Yeah. I don't know.
They kind of don't though. They just interior decorate and bang all day. They've got a really good fucking life. Those guys.
Yeah.
Kind of got it figured out. They're on Easy Street. Those guys, man.
Yeah, they're just hanging out with their boys and.
Yeah.
Fucking.
My cousin was on an app once, and he got
a gay gentleman.
Yes, yeah. It looks like
you have
Pierce
a gay cousin?
I got a couple of them. Yeah.
I got a gay cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Guy, girl?
He's a guy.
Nice. We should, I don't know, set
Set
them
them
up.
up.
They probably banged. Let's be
They
honest.
probably already banged. They're both
yeah.
in the Jersey area.
If they're both in the New York, Jersey area.
They know each other, I'm sure.
They banged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
All
if
right,
you're a
fucking
dude,
hell yeah.
if you're a dude and you think you have a high body count, compared to a hot chick, you don't. And if you're a hot chick who thinks you have a high body
I
count,
would love to discuss this with a gay.
if you think you've got a high body count compared to a good-looking gay, you don't. They'll knock out more in a week, buddy.
You think?
Oh, bro. Oh, it's crazy.
That's true.
Huh? Natalie, as
That's real.
our resident member of the LGBTQXYZ community.
That's very real. Is that because imagine
What
if
kind of numbers
all-
are we talking here?
Imagine if all the chicks that you wanted to have sex with had the same drive as you do. That's what
They
gay
do.
guys are dealing with. It's
Wow.
like everyone all wants to fuck at the same amount.
Yeah. Yeah, my cousin was literally out to lunch with us. This is a 100% true story. He was out to lunch with me and my sisters. And he got like a ping, like an actual ping. It went ping. And it was like he had something set up, I think it was on Grindr. And it was a literal, it was like an ad. It was like, hey, we're having and there's an orgy in meatpacking, which is kind of
Meatpacking.
hilarious. Yeah. There's an orgy in meatpacking, looking for, 2 power bottoms and a tink. That's literally what it said. I read
Two
the thing.
power bottoms and a tink.
I think a twink. I think I might have said that wrong.
You know, so
But-
is your cousin a power bottom or a twink?
I don't know. He's just a good-looking guy. Maybe he's a voyeur. Maybe
But,
they
is
like
he-
an audience.
Is he your size or is he?
No, well, he's taller. He looks like Pierce Brosnan. He's very attractive
He's
man.
not a twink then.
No.
A twink's like even smaller.
No
than Christian,
fucking cousin of mine, Mick. No fucking cousin of mine.
Your cousin's a power bottom.
Goddamn
That's
right. My cousin just wrecks these motherfuckers. He wrecks them.
I bet my cousin fucking wrecks even harder than your fucking cousin.
My cousin would wreck your cousin. My cousin would fuck your cousin up.
My cousin would power bottom your cousin so fucking hard.
My
dude.
cousin would smash your cousin's asshole into fucking bits.
My
into
cousin's
bits.
asshole would fucking take it, dude. It's durable. Us Galls are tough. We can take a pounding
They
and
can
keep
take
on
a
ticking.
pounding. Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
right, yeah.
Take a lick and keep on ticking.
You see this face? 90 stitches in his face. What's got more stitches, your face or your
His
cousin's asshole?
asshole?
Bow, bow, bow,
I
bow.
don't know.
Which is taking more straights?
I don't know. Shit.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's like so impressive. Where he was literally like, "All right, I gotta go do this orgy thing."
So that's rude. He just got up and left.
Honestly, respect. So like right there, I mean that's a 5 count.
I think we know your cousin has shitty manners.
That's a 5 count over lunch on a Wednesday, bud. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
All right.
yeah, some wild shit. Some
See what
wild
you're
shit.
saying.
Yeah. You ever heard of Natalie? You guys ever heard of bug chasing? You know what bug chasing is?
That's where you're trying to get a disease.
Yeah, one specifically, the HIV.
What?
Yeah, it's
I
like a,
did
I think
not know
you could
about
bug
that.
chase anything though.
yeah, but I think the original it was like this idea that you to like destigmatize.
I just saw.
HIV.
Speaking of the HIV, I just saw Magic Johnson donating blood yesterday
Really?
to a children's hospital.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I
Guess
don't know
they
how I
fucking-
feel about that.
They clean that shit up pretty fucking good,
It's
huh?
fucking good. You know what? Still, everybody else go ahead and have it first.
Yeah,
I want to
I
make sure
don't-
everybody has
I'm-
enough blood before.
I hope I
jump
never
in
need
there.
blood, knowing that that's in the system.
Yeah, that's the old Arthur Ashe right there. That's the old
Yeah.
Artie Ashe. Yeah. Hey, look, man. I am not in a mind frame of trusting the science enough to cycle in some known to be positive blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
I mean,
think
I
we-
hope the guy's lived some life. I mean, he has almost like single-handedly, I feel like, made the world kind of unafraid of AIDS again.
I think you're kind of right.
Like, he's kind of destigmatized the whole thing.
Yeah.
And somebody was just talking to us about the Dallas Buyers Club. For people that don't know, great movie, Jared Leto and Matthew McConaughey, about AIDS and HIV medication being so expensive that these guys would sell the medication on the black market. And you know
Okay.
do you know who the bad guy, the unnamed bureaucratic bad guy in that movie is?
Who?
Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Wait, that is based on. I never saw that movie, but
Yeah.
I didn't know Fauci had a movie based off him being the villain.
He was
already.
the villain. He was the bureaucratic bad guy who was testing on humans, and they didn't use his name, but it was him.
Wow.
Wild, right?
And then he just had a vertical new position.
Mm-hmm. Now, the lesbian community, I don't think is nearly as afraid of as AIDS and HIV. Is that right, Natalie?
I would think so because there's not as much
Dick?
Semen?
yeah, penetration.
Blood?
Yeah.
There's not much
Yeah.
penetration?
Um,
Sounds cool.
Not with body parts.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah, it's
you're
more.
putting
It's
toys
probably
and
more
stuff in-
sucking.
What do
and
you think
licking.
about Dylan Mulvaney coming out as a lesbian, Natalie?
That's so interesting because I assumed that she would have like been a gay guy before and then transitioned and was kind of still into dudes, and now she's. I think everything she does is a bit, honestly. Like I think it's all like, what can I say to make the most people like?
Yeah. Whether
about me.
whether you think she's a guy or a girl, we can debate that
You're
all
right.
day. Yeah. But what we can all agree on is they're an attention whore. A whore for attention. Whatever it takes. Whatever.
Yeah, it's just like whatever for the bit, whatever's gonna make people.
I gotta tell
get
you.
talking,
So-
and it's
so-
working.
So now you're
Cutting your
saying
dick
you're
off
saying
is
there's
commitment to the bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of commitment.
That's
So
commitment
you're
to the
saying that in a female relationship, there's not that much penetration. There isn't like y'all don't have like your go-to like strap-ons or like.
Well, yeah, there's that, but like not with
Just get fucking.
not with body parts.
Get
Like
fucking
you're not gonna
thrusting back
get
there.
Mm.
You got like a
You're not
good
gonna
stroke.
get
How's your
HIV.
stroke game?
not great.
Not great.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Well, now let me ask you, for people that don't like penises, you certainly like plastic penises.
This is true. I'm.
They
I
like
mean, I
penises,
swing
they
both
just-
ways, so I can't speak on that.
All
but-
right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What can we do to convince you to come over to Team Straight 100%? I got an offer for you. All right? I got an offer. And it is 2 gently shaven, lightly scratched balls. No, let's start there for negotiations.
What? You just offer your own balls?
No, I'm not there, but I'm sure that like there's got to be somebody else that was listening to my story and going, "Been there, bro. 100% been there."
Okay. I didn't realize we were gonna make an offer. I had a few more questions for Natalie.
Please go on.
So what does the sex mostly consist of in a lesbian couple, or at least
a lot
that
of
you know?
hands and oral stuff, to be honest. And then
Okay.
if you're like more into, which is
Your
not
your
so much
pussy
my
eating
thing.
game is probably A1.
I mean, I've never compared it to anyone else, but you know, that's out there.
Good for you, Natalie. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Comparison is a thief of joy. That's true. Yeah, as long as you guys are joyful.
Yeah. Well, they
You
are
know?
gay, so
Yeah, they're
very
gay
happy.
and- yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it means.
for sure.
Interesting. So, what type of numbers do you think these gay guys are putting up?
I think Gerard's right in that if you're a hot girl and you think you're fucking a lot, talk to some hot gay guys.
Yeah.
and
Don't get it
that's
wrong.
everything.
You're still a disgusting pig for doing that, hot girl.
Guys or girls?
No, guys, it's impressive. Good
Right.
for you, man. That's a hard thing to do, put up numbers like that.
But where does that leave gay guys? Do they lean as guys or do they lean as people who fuck guys?
They're like, ooh, I'm such a slut.
Yeah, I'm impressed either way. I think, you know what? I think.
Yeah, right. Because that's no. She's actually making a good point.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
Plus, it's not as hard.
Yeah.
I think that's where you're wrong, bud. I think it's plenty hard.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
I think it's almost.
Actually, it's probably.
It's almost intimidating.
severely
hard.
impacted.
It's almost too hard all over.
So Gerard, if you were a gay guy, you'd be a receiver, right?
No, not at all.
What do you mean? You wouldn't be a power bottom like your cousin?
No, I'd be I'd be one of these like beautiful bears, like one of these dominating guys, like like I'd wait in the back of the orgy until like things were getting slow, and then I'd kick the door open like Stone Cold and be like, yeah,
I'm here to give you a nasty
let's
2
go.
minutes.
Yeah, bow 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 bow, just breaking shit like the Royal Rumble.
So, Natalie, maybe you could help us here too. Would Gerard be a bear in the gay community?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
I mean, I don't know how much chest hair you got.
Oh, I
That's
have a
part of it.
significant amount of chest hair. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about with the grooming. I kind of like once it starts here, it starts creeping up. You never know where to stop, and the next thing you know, it's hours long. You ever go
gay guys
full
do.
nude there, Christian? You ever do the full wax?
No,
Never did it, not even once.
no.
Really,
Full body?
full body?
Nope. How about you?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, back when I was in great shape and didn't hate the way I looked naked,
You don't want to be a bear anymore.
No, I wasn't
I
a
guess
bear
it depends
back then.
how hairy you are. I'm
would-
not that hairy.
I would have been known as an otter back then, an otter. But yeah. So you start on the forearms. You shave the forearms because then with the sweat and the tape, it makes you look really fucking strong with the bat in your hands, you know? But then you can't just like stop here. Then you got to go to here.
I think we need to get that shirt off.
No, this was a then. This is not a now. I'm telling you. It's don't do it because there's no stopping, man. There's no stopping. It becomes a nonstop thing.
You have a hairy back?
No, thank God.
I don't believe that.
This episode is Natalie.
Natalie, what kind of gay would I be?
That's tough because you're like kind of in between. You're too fit to be a twink and not hairy enough to be a bear.
Can you imagine how obnoxious? Can you even begin to imagine how obnoxious sassy gay Mickey would be? Oh my God.
Fuck yeah. I'd be so obnoxious.
Oh my God. You'd be wearing like mesh fucking tank tops and shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be wearing like assless chaps.
100%.
You know? Yeah.
We can make
That'd
this
be
happen.
my shit.
Where's that Alex Jones frog water? I'll just start slipping it in at night. I'll start slipping in that Alex Jones frog water and
He
the
starts
other
grabbing
supplements.
wieners at jujitsu and shit.
Yeah, start copping fields, right?
He's already been taken the back.
I don't know why he's not passing the guard. He's spending a lot of time in the guard. He used to be
so
Mickey used to
good.
be a good guard passer, but you really spend a lot of time in the guard, bro. What's going on with you?
Just starts petting people from behind instead of choking them out, just whispering sweet nothings in their ear. Wow, you moisturize. Yeah.
So they don't have a term for a fellow like me?
I'm sure they do because there are so many terms. I'm just not familiar with it. I'll look it up though.
I feel like you're a
lazy
lazy member of the Roy G. Biv community, Natalie.
I know. I don't participate.
You're just
enough
like a
in
normal human being, huh? We were told we were getting one of
Yeah,
them
some of us
crazy
are
New
like
York
that.
gays.
Yeah.
What's up?
Some of us are like that. Some
I
of
know.
us
All
just
my family members are just
decided.
normal people. Yeah, they're not out here like, twerking in front of children and stuff. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it hard to hate.
Huh. So speaking of hate, I'm sure since you were in New York for about a week,
Yeah.
I'm sure you want to come home and fucking
It's
come back
just
to Florida
gross, bro.
and,
It's
rip
gross.
on our home.
It's gross.
Man,
It's broken.
They put that thing up not so long ago on the Instagram of you talking about how much better Florida is than Jersey and New York and shit.
It is.
Some
I mean, let's
people-
be real,
Some
it
people were some of my people were not so happy about it,
Well,
but also some of them agreed with you as well.
you can get angry.
But what are your thoughts in your most
you can't say
recent?
I'm wrong.
I thought that shit, and we should be able to. I wish we could put that in there. That thing you're doing where you put up like the Empire State Building. You're like, and it had this song in New York, and then you pan to like the trash.
Just a
then you
block of trash.
Then the next thing is in New York, and then it's like a homeless guy and a needle on the road. Like, that was really funny. That was
Bro,
funny.
I here's the thing. You can't hate something you never first loved. I love New York. I had some of the best nights of my life there. I became a man there. Like, I love this place. It's fallen to shit. It's
You really
just,
think you can't hate something that you haven't first loved?
I really don't think so. Do you like to actually hate something? To like have hatred in your heart for something? To be genuinely upset by something? I think you had to have first loved it, don't you think?
I don't know. We'll think about that one and go back to it. You can keep going with your.
So, but here, I'll give you the good stuff. The good stuff is Keats is still awesome. Did the karaoke in at Keats. There's still like some things that you just can't get anywhere else on earth. Like you can't go to a karaoke bar till 5 o'clock in the morning with the cast of Rent anywhere else. And that's a lot of fun, man. Hearing Broadway understudies sing Disney tunes in an Irish bar is a once in a world experience,
Talk about gay.
It was awesome. I loved it. It was great. And the night ended very heterosexually, which is even better. But
Took some home.
well,
took it to
a
Pound Town?
gentleman doesn't kiss and tell, outside of the
He was earlier.
10 minutes of this episode.
Yeah, the fuck.
I'm no gentleman. Yes, indeed. Yeah. But that's another thing. Maybe I'm just getting old because
You could actually. I'm gonna call Gerard out. He definitely was like, yeah, Slick and Thick show. Make sure you check us out. Blah blah blah. We'll have Monday. That was like a gentleman would never say. She's listening right now.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
if she's listening, just know, Diamond, I love you forever. You got to close the bar down. It's 5 o'clock. They don't leave till 6. 7 o'clock.
Who's they?
8 o'clock
The
in the
cast
morning.
of Rent.
The they them. Yeah, and then you're limping all day. So, you know, it sets you back. You know, now that I'm not doing my drugs anymore, it's very hard to have a fruitful next day. Then I had meetings the whole next day. I got like 3 hours of sleep. It's fine. It's tough out here.
Kumia was dope.
Kumia was dope, man. Compound's dope. Kumia's dope. Had a lot of great things to say about us and gas.
His audience liked you, huh?
Yeah, man. Good peoples, man.
I think he's hysterical on the Chip Chipperson show, which is on Gas. It's one of my favorites. Like that show is so good. I remember I used to like listen to like Rogan and all these podcasts. Sure. You know what I mean? And then it got to a point where all these comedians were just talking about like, we can't say what we want to say anymore.
Sure.
And like shit like that. And I was like, all right, like I needed a fucking break. And I remember I listened to Chip Chipperson. Like I was listening like every fucking episode. I'd be listening to that shit on the plane, like laughing. Like I'd be at home listening to that shit, laughing out loud. But Anthony is so good on the fucking Chip Chipperson show too. He's just fucking like perfect. Like if they could do every episode together,
well, they did for a very long time.
That'd be like one of I think the biggest shows. It's so fucking goofy and just silly. It's like, you know, it's just funny, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got those guys helped define radio in the 90s and early 2000s, you know. And I think Norton just did something with Trump, which I never expected to see that. Not that Chip Chipperson and Norton would know each other, but, you know, it's just...
Yeah, I don't think they get along.
They don't get along, right?
I don't think they're friendly.
They're not. They don't like each other, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Speaking of the dumb politics, there's a new thing I think you're going to like. It's called the No Labels Party, looking to run as a third party. Some Republicans, some Democrats. It's like kind of the old moderate Democrat, the Joe Lieberman, the Manchin. If you can pull this up, Christian. It's called No Labels, nolabels.org. I want to give it a little bit of play. I want to give it a little bit of runtime.
Nolabels.org?
Yeah, and they're thinking about doing a third-party run here, which has the Democrat establishment fucking livid because they think they're only going to siphon. There we go. Common sense majority. Common sense majority. One of the things that I love about this recent political cycle.
I like common sense.
It's
unfortunate how fucking uncommon it is nowadays, though, you know?
Yeah, for sure. What I love about this current moment in politics is everybody is sick and tired of the establishment, and I think they're more open.
Haven't we been that? I've been sick and tired of that shit since I first started learning about politics.
Really?
Absolutely.
To this level? Like to the point where...
Just about.
Yeah. Well, now I think a lot of people,
that's one of the reasons why I'm apolitical, as you like to call it. Like that I'm not very political. I couldn't remember an election that I thought it wasn't kind of between a shit and a fart. I never looked at it. One guy was like, "This is a fucking man to be revered.
Yep.
This is a great man right here. This is a man that I want to be the leader of my country."
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's something I don't know.
No, that's a great point. And one of the things I think that's great about, because of the current environment where you have so much independent media, and nobody really trusts the mainstream media, they did a poll on that. I believe it was CNN did a poll, and 47% of the country, 47%, the most in like 50 years, is open to voting for third party. 47% of the country.
So what's this common sense, no labels
So
thing
Joe
you're talking
Manchin,
about?
it looks like Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin's a Democrat out of West Virginia who basically...
You like him?
Yeah, he held this country together. Joe Manchin held this country together.
Was he like a speaker or something?
No. Joe Manchin is a Democrat. Him and Kristen Sinema are now. Sinema is no longer a Democrat. She's a registered independent. They held up against the most pressure you could possibly imagine to not pass the far left, most progressive.
What was Joe Manchin's role?
Joe Manchin is a senator from West Virginia. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's from
I feel
West
like
Virginia.
maybe I was wrong, but I felt like you kept saying he's a Democrat.
He is a Democrat.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think you said that he was a senator. Maybe you did. If so, forgive me.
But him being a Democrat is more important than where he's at because he went against his own party. He was the vote. He was the no vote on the filibuster. He was the no vote on adding extra. Like, they could have done insane shit. If he just went along with party line, the voting age could be 16. D.C. and Puerto Rico could be states right now. There could be 19 members of the Supreme Court. Like, they wanted to change everything to make it so that they would never lose ever again.
Yeah.
And Joe Manchin was the guy and did it to his own party, who was like, no, this is nuts. Absolutely not. No. Joe Manchin deserves a lot of credit.
He was like operating with like common sense and like being and realistic and being.
He actually thought about what was best for his people.
When people say based, when they say like based and super based, like I remember on that video with me choking out Ben.
Yeah.
you put up like that David Carradine thing,
Yeah.
and a bunch of people were saying like based, super based, or like, so what does that mean?
It's a gamer and like a 4chan thing where it used to mean like based in reality, like tougher, and then it became like a red pill thing where it was like manly, like sort of like that. It's kind of the anti woke, you know. Good for you,
Based,
Ben. Good
based
for
in
you.
reality.
Based in reality. Yeah. Speaking of,
That thing's got like between like on that account, that thing's got like millions of hits.
yeah, man. People like seeing Mickey G choke people
like
out.
seeing, yeah, but I think Ben's a star there. Ben's a star there, bro. He got so many funny comments.
Based means like sticking to your own morals, whatever those are. I just looked up the definition.
All right, all right.
Being yourself.
Based in
Not
reality.
caring what other people think when you say your opinions.
Nice.
All right, cool.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that to the Slick and Thick account, which is cool. That's what it's about. Anyway,
Now, speaking of based, and another good Democrat, pull up
and that's
Robert.
how it came up, because I was saying based in reality, and that reminded me of base, and,
Yeah.
and that is kind of what.
And listen, I spend a lot of time on here shitting on Democrats, so I do want to give love where they deserve it. Robert Kennedy is now.
I can't wait to have a good, smart Democrat come on here and you guys kind of talk, and I bet you guys end up having more in common than.
Well, you said two things at the beginning that's going to make it very difficult.
What was
We
that?
could get a Democrat on here. But we're gonna have a tough time finding a good and a smart one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get a Democrat
What
anywhere.
do you think? They just regurgitate stuff that they're told?
I think the modern Democrat is not the Democrat that we grew up with. I think the modern.
I gotta get my cousin Ben on here.
Sure.
He'd be good.
Is he gay?
No, that's not right.
Okay. I mean,
No.
that makes it even better. You know.
That's
Maybe we can-
yeah.
Yeah. But that sort of stuff, like that right there, like even though that's a little joke, the modern Democrat has been reduced down to what they are, not what they believe in. Right? Like you can't disagree with the orthodoxy of the woke church, because if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, you ain't gay, you ain't whatever box we put you in. Right? So they force you into their ideology, or you have to go against the pressure of all. They almost treat you like a scab. You ever go online and you see a black guy who's a conservative, and other white progressives go nuts, like the most racist shit you've ever seen. They treat him like a union scab, like somebody who crossed the line. Yeah. You know. So, and this whole idea of diversity, it's superficial diversity. It's diversity of things you can't change. You have no say in the way you're born. You have no say in your skin color. You have no say really in your sexual orientation, right? So that's not anything to be proud of or dismissed by. That's just the card you were dealt, right? Sure. So things that you can actually be legitimately judged on and proud of, you know, and get adulation for, your intellect, what you've done in your life, your achievements, your intellect, your ambitions, right? These are things you can be judged on. That's not what we're judged on. We're judged solely on immutable characteristics, right? It's not how smart you are. It's whether or not you were born this color or you were born this sexuality. That's nonsensical.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded.
It's reduced. It's reduced down to the lowest common denominator. You know, so that's why it becomes very difficult to have any sort of. And then we mix it in with what we talked about a couple episodes ago, where there's people that have gotten these degrees from these institutions. So they're like, it doesn't matter what you say. I know I'm right because I have the check mark. I have the elitist thing, you know? So it's kind of that, what do they call it? The self-licking ice cream cone type of a deal. You know, it's reductionist. But anyway.
Yeah, you're just talking about that one aspect, kind of. Seems like you're talking about a black conservative getting ripped apart for being black and being conservative.
Correct. And I've had these conversations before. I've had these quote-unquote debates. If I had a socioeconomic debate with a black liberal, at the end of it, no matter what points I make, they will always retreat back to the Mott and Bailey fallacy of, well, you don't know what it's like to be black. Okay, so then what did we just do here? If that's the crux of the argument, then what is any of the conversation we just had? Right? So, yeah, it's nonsensical, really, when it comes down to it. And I think that's kind of where they're at as a party. They really don't give a shit. They just want to win. They just want power. They're not dumb. They're manipulative. And that's where they are, right? They don't care that Joe Biden's an idiot. They don't care that Joe Biden's as corrupt as we've ever had in our life. They just want to win.
I think they picked him because he's an idiot on purpose.
I do. I think they picked him because of everything that's being exposed right now.
Because he's malleable.
Yeah.
They could bend him to
That's
their will.
the perfect word to use.
He was a good like figurehead.
100%.
Kind of, yeah.
That's a great word to use because I think everything he's getting in trouble for now, and the dam might break. It might be so much when Devin Archer goes on the stand and admits, as Hunter Biden's business partner, that they were selling access to Joe Biden as the vice president of the United States, that they were literally selling out the United States to our enemies, right? Even the most ardent Democrat is going to have to be like, all right, this is too much. This is too much. You can't have that. You can't have China. And you know the craziest thing about Joe Biden taking these bribes is, to me anyway, how cheap they are. I
got them for cheap. Huh?
$10 million? $10 million to have the vice president of the United States in your back pocket? My God. My God almighty.
Huh.
10 mil. That's wild.
And you actually think as you said, the most ardent Democrats will admit they're wrong?
I don't know, but it's getting tough. One good thing
What happened with COVID?
One good thing that did happen in New York, a lot of the Democrats are getting sick of playing defense for shit they can't defend. Like the idea, there was just one that was posted about PayPal. PayPal was trending on Twitter. And there was this feminist group in, I believe it's the Netherlands, but I could be wrong, that said, no, women are women. We've been fighting for the rights of women forever. Trans women are trans women. That's a different thing. You're not women, all right? And it goes against the ESG policies of their bank. Their bank account was frozen. They can't take any donations or sell any merch. PayPal won't work with them. They're feminists. They're feminists saying we've spent our whole lives trying to defend women. And when the left, that Schadenfreude of when the left, I feel
like it's not very feminist for a man to just be able to say, I'm a woman now.
It's a remarkable 180, that self-licking ice cream cone, that snake that eats its own tail. I don't know what
self-licking ice cream cone means.
It destroys itself from the inside. You know, the snake that eats its own tail. Where you've gone so full circle as a feminist that you're defending a man dressed as a woman being able to punch a woman in an MMA fight. You're such a feminist that you have to defend the man in the wig winning the marathon against the women. Otherwise, you're not a feminist. It's asinine, right? So I think even that shit, even some of my most ardent Democrat friends are going, we never asked for this. None of us asked PayPal to not fucking take the payments from the feminist group. So the dam is starting to show cracks. And then when you got people fighting back, play that thing from RFK.
Robert Kennedy, yep.
Yeah. This is how it breaks, right? So this lady right here, it's very important to know. Her name is Dianne Feinstein. She is one of the most corrupt people in Congress, which is very important to know because she's laying these allegations. She is the woman who, along with Donna Brazile, rigged the 2016...
Donna Brazile is kind of a cool name, though.
Rigged and it's with an E too. It looks like Brazil, but that woman right there.
I wanted it to be spelled like the country, like Brazil.
She rigged the 2016 primary for Hillary, and still she used to be the head of the DNC, and she's still a member of Congress out of California. There's no way that this lady should be in politics.
Against Jewish people by saying, and I quote, even Hitler's Germany, you could cross the Alps to Switzerland, you could hide in an attic like Anne Frank did.
What we're saying today.
So do you know what happened right there? Pause. For people that don't know what happened, right? They're trying to censor, the Democrats are trying to censor RFK, who's running for president as a Democrat. His own people are trying to label him as an anti-Semite. They're trying to label him as a racist and censor him so he can't speak on vaccine efficacy in front of Congress. So she just says you're an anti-Semite who sided with the Nazis because you said even Nazi Germany wasn't as bad. And this is what he actually says.
Bless you, Ben.
One sec, sorry.
It's all right,
In
Christian.
discussing COVID
You're a
public
good guy,
health
you know?
measures, you made light of the genocide against Jewish people by saying, and I quote, even Hitler's Germany, you could cross the Alps to Switzerland, you could hide in an attic like Anne Frank did.
What we're seeing today is what I call turnkey totalitarianism. They are putting in place all of these technological mechanisms for control we've never seen before. It's been the ambition of every totalitarian state from the beginning of mankind to control every aspect of behavior, of conduct, of thought, and to obliterate dissent. None of them have been able to do it. They didn't have the technological capacity. Even in Hitler's Germany, you could cross the Alps into Switzerland. You can hide in an attic like Anne Frank did. I visited in 1962 East Germany with my father.
Pause that real quick.
And met people.
Is that even remotely close to like?
No, it's not. And you know what the thing is with RFK, man? He always sounds like he's about to cry.
Yeah, the voice is tough.
Sounds like
It's
he's about
tough.
to break out into.
Yeah,
He has to have some kind of
tears.
disease,
Well,
right?
he does. He
He's
does.
got-
He has a
he's got
neurological
something.
problem.
Yeah.
He's talked about it a lot. I think if his voice was normal, I think he'd be running away with the nomination right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame, but maybe if his voice was normal, he wouldn't be such an outsider speaking the truth either, though.
Right.
So here we
Maybe
are.
he'd be just part of the fucking regime.
Maybe because I mean,
I don't know. His father and uncle were both murdered,
yeah,
probably
by the regime,
By the regime.
by the regime.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And here he is. And they have the balls to say that he was equating it to Hitler. And there is a section of our population who will just take what she said as reality.
Right.
Now, what do we do?
Yeah,
with
I follow Christopher Moltisanti, whose real name is Michael Imperioli.
Imperioli, yeah.
I saw him shitting on him for the exact same thing, saying that he's like an anti-Semite and blah blah blah. Like he just took that little clip and put that shit up.
They get their
and
marching orders.
He seems like a smart guy, Imperioli, but he's very, very very much. I think it's a Hollywood thing.
Well, the actors get their lines and then they perform.
Exactly.
The DNC gives them their lines and they get them marching.
Yeah.
And then all
They
their
wanna keep getting
followers,
parts.
hey,
You know.
do you want the next movie? There's definitely something to that, bro. Keep playing it. And then Dr. Yuval Evil Harari comes on next.
And he died doing it, but it was possible. Today, the mechanisms are being put in place that will make it so none of us can run and none of us can hide.
Yep.
The
Now
most likely and dangerous measure is surveillance.
This is the most dangerous
We now
man on
see
earth.
mass surveillance systems established even in democratic countries, which previously rejected them. And we also see a change in the nature of surveillance. Previously, surveillance was mainly above the skin. Now it's going under the skin. Governments want to know not just where we go or who we meet. Above all, they want to know what is happening under our skin. What's our body temperature? What's our blood pressure? What is our medical condition? This is, of course, necessary to deal with the epidemic. But if this remains in the long run, there is a danger of establishing
Pause.
Like he wants to know what you're thinking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So one of the things that they've accused Vladimir Putin of, they have a colloquial term for it. They call it the radiated salad, radiated lettuce. So they'll put in a spy. They'll follow you. They'll track you. They'll know that you like these restaurants. Blah 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 blah. They'll put a spy in.
You got self-licking ice cream cones. You got radiated lettuce. You got any other fucking?
Yeah, it sounds like
phrases?
your cold tubs and your fasting sound pretty good right about now. But so then they'll put one of their agents in as the waiter in the restaurant for a month. You'll get used to them being there, and then one day you'll go to sit down. You'll order what you always order in the restaurant you always eat in, and your steak and eggs will have, instead of salt and pepper on them, irradiated pepper. And then over the course of the next month, you will have an inoperable tumor, and you will die. And apparently Putin's been doing this to dissidents and journalists for years. There's other things that are even weirder, where they'll have like this sticky shit on their palm, right? So it's insulated from there, but it seeps into your skin. Shake your hand.
I saw that they had that in that movie with James Franco and The Interview.
The Interview?
Yeah, remember he had like that thing in his hand that he was gonna shake Kim Jong-il's hand, but then like he hid it in like some gum, and then someone like ate it. But also he like had it on his hand, like he practiced in like the hotel and he like couldn't get it off and shit.
Wild.
Seth
I
Rogen, yeah.
don't remember that part of the movie, but yeah. So imagine you're
Big
doing
part of the movie.
You're doing
That's like the main
doing
part.
a meet and greet before a fight.
Right.
You're shaking hands, kissing babies, doing your
yeah.
thing. Somebody shakes your hand. You start feeling like sweaty later. You get a text message from a random number says, "You got fucking anthrax poisoning. You go down in the first round tomorrow, and you get the
Antidote.
Yeah. How's
They
that
use
work
it to
for
like
you?
extort people.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So I mean, you're living in a world now where if we don't nip this shit in the bud, if we don't nip this shit, you see the people that we have elected already, man, they will do anything they can. They will call somebody who's not an anti-Semite. They'll call their own people out. This is the shit I always said about the election when they were like, they'll never do that. They'll do it to their own people. If Dianne Feinstein will do this to a Kennedy, a Democrat, what would she do to you? You kidding me? Are you nuts? Shit's wild to me, man.
Speaking of fasting, I just fasted for like 20 hours.
Is that right?
No.
You just broke your fast?
Yeah.
Happy break fast.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You starting to start cutting again here, man?
Nah, man. Fasting's good for you. We talked about it a lot, but like if you don't have blood running to worry about digesting, it could like heal and help you recover.
Is that right?
Yeah. Instead, that blood will go to your muscles and your ligaments and joints and all that shit, and will recover you better.
Really?
Yeah. I know you hate the idea of fasting, buddy, but a lot of benefits. Weren't you talking about some, Christian? Weren't you gonna pull up some something about fasting?
Yeah.
Did you say someone on Rogan was
Yeah,
talking
there's
about it?
David Sinclair. I don't know if you've seen him, G.
David Sinclair, yeah.
He's an anti-aging doctor,
Yeah.
and he talks about the benefits of fasting.
Interesting
like
guy.
What'd he say?
resveratrol. Something along the lines of it turns on a survival gene when you fast.
Yeah.
So if you do it every day, you can live a longer life, I guess.
How many
But then you're
many
gonna be
hours?
hungry.
How many hours you gotta fast though for that gene to get turned on?
I think it's a while. I think it's like 8, 9, something like
That's
that.
nothing.
There's just,
Yeah, I guess if you just did 24.
So my thing is the same thing with everything else. It's like I just don't know.
And I worked out, I did fucking legs and a whole bunch of other shit.
Did you see the thing with Tony Robbins where he was talking about if you just stand in a powerful pose for 2 hours a day, it raises your testosterone. It does all these other, like if you stand in what they call the Superman pose, hands on your hips, chest wide.
And it's the same thing with the sauna and the cold tub. The heat shock proteins and like cold shock proteins are supposed to do like these amazing things for you. All you gotta do is go get in there, and you're getting like almost like drugs people would take.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're telling me instead of doing that, there's a drug I can take?
I think so. Maybe like
All right.
steroids.
Can I just
and
take
stuff.
can I take like a sauna
You
pill?
trying to go take a steroid?
Yeah, can I take one of those cold tub pills, please?
Yeah.
Speaking of cold tub pills, like red pill, black pill, the whole black pill, the Andrew Tate
What's
thing.
black pill?
The black pill is like reality. It's like, no, not right. I'm not red pilled. I'm not blue pilled. I'm reality pilled, black pilled. We're all shit and we're all going to die. I don't care if the cup is half empty or half full. I care that the cup is piss. Like that's a black pill, right?
Okay.
So
Never heard of black pill.
turns out, bud, athletes, comedians, actors, we get a bad name because the real hooas,
Oh, I heard about
the
this.
real promiscuous hooas are nurses.
Nurses.
Nurses are out there just flipping, just absolutely flipping it out there, bro.
I feel like that's going to upset a lot of men whose wife is a nurse.
I gotta
Make
tell
them
you,
start to think some bad thoughts.
if your wife was a nurse, there's a good chance at some point she was a bottle girl and a real estate agent, perhaps even a strippy. Nurses.
Wait, what's the info on this? How'd they come to this conclusion?
Nurse is last stop on the thought train. So, and I'm sorry, and I know some great nurses. I got nurses in my family, but Christian, if you can pull it up, you got to trust the science here, people. It turns out if you are...
Oh, you got to trust the science now?
You got to trust the science, folks. If you know anything about slick and thick, we blindly trust the science around these parts.
That's right.
And the science says if you're dating a nurse, she's twice as likely to cheat on you as if you're dating an athlete.
Why? Why a nurse?
I wonder. I wonder. I have some theories. I'd like to, after you finish your meat stick.
No, you go first. You go first. 'Cause I got a whole other
Natalie,
meat stick
have you ever dated a nurse, Natalie?
I have not.
You have not. Do you find it somewhat surprising that nurses have this level of promiscuity?
Honestly, no. And I feel like what you said is right, where it's like people who I know who are hoey anyway become nurses. I don't know if one has to do with the other.
Yeah, they gravitate towards
a nurse seems like a nurturing, a nurse seems like a great person.
Yeah.
There's an article here.
That's why Mickey's a feminist, because he believes in the best in women. I see a nurse as someone who wants to be in as close proximity to a doctor as possible.
Oh, she's just trying to find her.
Maybe there's like something to be said for like, I'm being nurturing and caring at work all day. I gotta let off steam.
Yeah,
other vices.
Wouldn't you like me to be nurturing and caring for you 24/7?
Bro, I just had a fucking flashback.
You gotta swallow.
I just had a fucking flashback.
Gotta.
Shut up. I've had like several females like hit me up who like have had like families, like been married, and like try to like send me pictures and trying to like get with me and shit.
And what did they do for a living?
RN. Registered nurse, huh?
Oof.
Nobody.
This says they're more likely than athletes, musicians, and DJs.
Boom. Well, okay.
But DJs, I feel like, are all single. Like, that's...
Well, here's the thing. Maybe okay. Like... Well, now we're getting into something here, Christian. This is how being a producer on Slick and Thick has elevated your thinking, because now you're not linear thinking. Now you're starting to think outside the box.
You used to just be a dumb, stupid bitch.
Yeah, you used to just be a dumb idiot with pube haircut. But no, now you're sitting here going,
used to be a short king.
Wait, maybe there's a reason why that they're not telling us. Look at you diving deep.
So what is that?
Well, he's right. Perhaps there's a little bit of a skewed,
it's a little cherry
measurement here, and that these other people are single, so it's a technicality, right? So they're maybe these other professions are more promiscuous, but they're not. It's a semantics thing. But I don't think so. I think these are whores, and I'll tell you why. First of all, they have to work like these 12, 13-hour shifts. And I don't care who you are. If you're tired, there's trauma bonding. You just worked on a body together. You tried to save this kid. The kid dies. Now I'm crying. I go into the service.
You're the doctor?
No. I'm the nurse. I'm crying. I tried to save this kid.
The doctor goes and puts his hand on your knee.
The doctor comes into the closet with me. It's not your fault.
You did so good.
It's not your fault. You did everything you could do. He knows that now. Trauma bond, tight area.
Thank you.
You're tired. 12 hours. Come on.
Let's go hit one of those empty rooms.
Yeah, hey, you know what you need? You need a little bit of serotonin. Yeah. You need about 36 seconds of dopamine.
Let me get you, I'm going to give you 30 cc's of my jizz.
I prescribe you 30 cc's of me, baby. Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, maybe they're being set up for failure. But also, after seeing these whoas during the pandemic, crying about how hard their life is and how hard their job is, but also finding time for a countless amount of TikTok dances. Look at them. I mean, come on.
That's probably fucking, that's Halloween.
That's life-saving.
I think that's Halloween.
That's right Miami General right there.
That's Halloween.
Are you kidding me?
That's bullshit on that picture.
I tell you, you tell me where that hospital is, and I got a feeling I'm going to get hurt in front of it often. Sometimes I cut myself to see how much it bleeds.
You're going to sneak in there with scrubs and be like, I need an operation over here. We need a transfusion over here. I need EKG stat.
What? And then the one doctor has to try to like find out who you are, so you have to like out alpha him for asking the question. We don't have time for that right now. Why do I need to see your credentials? You want my credentials? There's a kid dying inside right now.
Is that what you want?
You're worried about my credentials? Well, you go tell that kid's mother that his life is not worth it. Mr. Credentials over here. I'll have you know, sir, that I studied at the finest of schools.
Slick and Thick you, baby.
Brookdale Community College coming through. Yeah, man. I should have went to Brookdale. Would have been better. But I got to tell you, all that checks out, man. I think it checks out.
I need more information. I mean, I guess I get.
I mean, come on.
I get
Come
the
on.
long
That's real.
shifts.
That's real.
I get the long shifts. I believe that one. I get the long shifts.
That's real,
And,
and it's spectacular.
It's real and it's really great. But yeah, I get the long shifts.
Trauma
spend a lot
bonding.
of time there. I get the trauma bonding.
They were already whores to
But
begin
like,
with.
which nurses are admitting to this?
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Like what? Like evidence is being used in this.
This
You know
was
what
a study done by a guy who was cheated on by a nurse.
I mean? Yeah. Probably like 2.
Yeah.
He probably he dated 2 nurses.
Yeah. Are there, so on Hinge, you know, are there any jobs that when the girl has it on Hinge, it's a no-go?
No.
It's a nothing for you?
No.
I gotta tell you, I see teacher or nurse, it's red flag. I'm still doing it, but I
Why
know what I'm
teacher?
getting myself into. Oh, I've done the teacher thing twice.
They're gonna fuck a student.
Maybe. No, they're just always teachers.
What's the red flag? Like,
So I'm asking.
What's up?
what's the red flag?
I
don't
think for me personally, the type of people that are attracted to those jobs, they tend to be like,
know. Slutty.
no, that's what I like about them. That's not the red flag. I love that about them. It's the, I don't have a lot of patience or empathy for you complaining about your job when I too have a job. Does that make sense? Like I dated an elementary school teacher and she would come home, and this is when I was working in pharma sales, like high pressure sales, working like 14-hour days. And I would literally have to sit in the car for sometimes like an hour in complete silence just to get myself ready to go in and hear how bad her day was because the 7-year-old wouldn't listen to her. And even then, I sometimes couldn't maintain the patience. At one time, I remember I was just like, have you tried kicking the fucking kid? If you kick the kid, I bet it'll fucking do what you want it to do. And then, you know, then she was mad
I'm
at
sure
me.
that went well.
It is, yeah. So anyway, I'm single. Yeah, I don't have it in me, man. I don't have it in me. Teachers, they're tough. The nurses are tough. But I feel like nurses are tough for a different reason, and I do think it's because every nurse I know does have bikini pics on a boat. You know, every nurse I know, I got a feeling they fit a certain.
You almost don't even believe they're a nurse.
I tell you what, maybe this article is complete bullshit, and it just confirmed my pre-existing biases. Maybe I wrote the article. I don't even know what's real in this world anymore, Mick.
Yeah, I don't know, bud.
What do you
I don't know
think,
nothing
Natalie?
about
Are there any? I mean, you've been in a long-term relationship. What does your girl do for a living?
She works at the New York Film Academy.
Oh,
Just
so
like not a teacher, but just like a film. She works in film. Basically.
okay, cool, very cool. Yeah, I don't. Are there any?
I don't think there's any stigma for that as far as like promiscuity, except that I don't know. A bunch of people, mostly people who work in film, are poor. And looking for work.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Unless you're in the big leagues, like people, and I've done it. I've been there. It's like working in film is like you have no money. You're always looking for another gig.
For sure. Even people that are in the big leagues, their money runs out when they, you know, there's only so many movies being made out there, man.
Gotta invest, kids.
Gotta invest.
Gotta invest.
You gotta
You know?
invest. It's getting tougher too. Nobody wants to pay for anything.
What do you mean?
The entertainment industry is in big trouble, man. I don't know if you've seen what's going on with the.
The strike.
Yeah, it's gonna get way worse before it gets better. You've got at least 2, maybe 3 generations now that have grown up their whole lives not paying for entertainment ever. You can go on YouTube, listen to whatever song you want to listen to. You can watch movies, clips, whatever you want, and never pay a dime for it. So how do you get this stuff made? I mean, YouTube's only $7,000 per million views now. I mean, so, you know, the entertainment industry is in serious flux. You know, I mean, even trying to get people to pay $9 for gas digital, you'd think is like pulling teeth.
Is that what it is? I thought it was $7.
$7. Well, they use code SNT.
There's gonna be the app's coming out soon too.
Excited about the app.
Yeah.
I think the app's gonna be a big
out,
thing.
but like, and then I think if you wait till August to get yours, you get like a free like something or other. What is? Do you know the details in that?
Let me pull it up. Hold on.
I think it's like you get like a free month or you get like a free like super long trial.
Yeah,
So
people.
if you're listening to this and you want to see some of our old episodes and shit,
Yeah, you gotta support, man. You
or
do.
if you want to get mixed picks in time for the fights,
Well, that's
you
the
gotta
big
be
one.
on. You gotta be on gas.
Yeah,
Digital.
it would have paid for itself 5 times over by now if you
Would
just
have.
would have listened to mixed picks. Yeah, I just saw an old thing with Stephen Neal wrestling Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, fucking the Patriots.
You want to talk about like men? There was Bussin' with the Boys. You know I love Bussin' with the Boys. They just had Mike Vrabel on, their old coach.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because of the dynamic. They're the hosts, but he was their coach. So
word?
yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, Vrabel's the Tennessee coach.
That's right, and that's where Will and Taylor met, right? So they were talking some old stories, and it was great because they were asking, you know, Will apparently was a great high school wrestler, and Vrabel's looking at him like, "Oh, I'll fuck you up." Vrabel's a big dude. People forget Mike Vrabel could play too. Mm-hmm. He was a player, tough, hard-nosed dude,
linebacker.
Yeah, on the team of a hard-nosed guy, Brewski, Willie McGinnis.
Could you pull up the Brock Lesnar Stephen Neal thing, and could you stall for a second because I got to take a piss.
Sure. And so Stephen Neal, people don't know who Stephen Neal is, man. This dude was an all-American wrestler who beat Brock Lesnar. He was a 2-time national champion who beat Brock Lesnar, which is funny because they keep calling him Lesnar the whole time. And this guy then gets drafted. My understanding, he didn't even play football in college. He gets drafted by Bill Belichick's Patriots, becomes an all-pro guard and a Super Bowl winning guard. He's one of the greatest athletes of all time, and nobody knows this guy's name. Stephen Neal, unbelievable guy. And what I sent you in the chat is him talking about Rodney Harrison. You want to talk about men who used to be men? There's a guy named Rodney Harrison. Pull that up if you can from Bussin' with the Boys. And check out Rodney Harrison's first day on the job. First day signing from San Diego with New England. Rodney Harrison decides to make a point.
You sent on Insta?
Yeah. So Vrabel's telling this story, Mick, about they just signed Rodney Harrison, right? And he's like, who's going to talk to him to tell him, like Rodney Harrison was this all-pro for San Diego, but him and Brewski are Vrabel and Brewski are like having lunch going, hey, one of us has to talk to the dude and let him know what the Patriot way is, how we do things around here. And the first practice, before they get a chance to talk to him, Rodney Harrison is wrecking everybody. Full contact, shoulder to shoulder, putting Kevin Falk on the ground, the LSU great. Stephen Neal comes up to him and is like, hey, you don't hit like that. And Rodney Harrison's like, fuck you, I do what I want. And this is his first practice with his new team. And Vrabel and the boys were like, I think we'll be all right.
I don't see it in the chat yet.
What? Go to Bussin' with the Boys IG. It's the first one they have up there. Really great.
So did Vrabel like that he was in there?
Loved it.
Hitting?
Yeah. Loved it.
That's the Patriot way?
Loved it. Said, we don't need to talk to him. We got one.
All right.
We got one.
Yeah, he's one of the boys.
I'll tell you what, though. If you're going to come into a new place, I think that's the way you come in.
Oh, yeah.
You let them know from the jump. This is how it's going to go. And if you don't like it, do something about it.
Yeah.
Let it ride.
I got it right here.
Let's rock.
And then I want to pull up the Lesnar.
We need the audio. Where's our audio, bruv?
And Kevin Falk like ran an angle route or something. I don't know.
Great player,
and
Kevin
Rodney,
Falk.
Like he hit the shit out of him. Like he hit him. It wasn't like a thud. It was like he hit him. He fell. Rodney didn't go low, or Rodney didn't like leave his feet or hit him in the head or anything. Everybody's like, "Woo!" The fans all. And Steve Neal, former wrestler, was like left guard. He runs out. He's telling Rodney, he's like, "You can't hit him like that." Rodney's like, "Shut. You, I hit whoever I want." O-line coach comes out, Dante comes out, and he's like, "Man, you can't hit him like that." He goes, "Shut up, I'll beat your ass too, old man." Me and Brewski looked at each other like, "Holy shit, we got one. We got one. Savage." So
did Rodney Harrison play for the Ravens too?
No, San Diego. Rodney Harrison, one of the best players of all time. He's who David Tyree stuck the ball to his helmet against.
I remember.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
Here's him and Lesnar.
Who am I thinking of?
There you go, Neal and Lesnar. This is, you don't need to play the match. It's an all-time stall match, but he outmuscled Lesnar.
Yeah, Lesnar. Yeah, there's a couple vanilla gorillas here.
Yeah. Didn't even play college football. Became an all-pro guard, multiple time.
Yeah, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Stephen Neal's a beast, man.
Yeah.
One of the best athletes people never
I
know
like
about.
little Rodney Harrison, who told me to go fuck himself. So I hit who I want.
Yeah.
Bro.
The old lion coach comes up. No, you don't get to do that. I'll fuck you up too, old man.
We talk about, remember James Harrison?
Love him.
He got kicked off his high school football team.
For what?
He challenged the coaches to fight.
Really?
Yeah. Which is that's tough when you're doing that shit in high school.
Yeah,
too,
it's tough.
I mean?
It's
like,
tough.
They're fucking he's at least a man. You know what I mean? This kid's probably like 16, 17. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I have a very love-hate relationship with that sort of stuff. I think I told you we were in we were in the state semifinals, and I made a goal line stand on like 3rd and 1. I split a double team, and I tackled this all-state running back, and I got up and I flexed, and my coach grabbed me, pulled me out of the game by my face mask. They ran over my side for the touchdown the next time, and he's screaming at me in front of the whole team. That's because you showboated. You put yourself in front of the team. And I'm like, bro, motherfucker, you pulled me out of the game to make a point. To make a point in the state semis.
Yeah,
bro,
probably wasn't a good call on his part.
Nah, man. But that's.
I remember this one time. We were playing our rival in high school, right? So they're at like the goal line. We get a stop, and right as we get a tackle, I'd been doing this. I'd be kind of a mean motherfucker sometimes, you know. And every time since I was in Pop Warner, when I get a tackle, if I was at the bottom of the pile, if people piled up, I'm going to work. I'm pinching the shit.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I'm pinching the
Start
shit.
grabbing and ripping.
I'm like, every time you get tackled by me, you're going to feel some extra pain.
Yeah.
So I'd be pinching people's legs and pinching their arms and like just pinching the shit out of them.
Just so people know, you're not like a sociopath. Before everything was on video, the ball could change hands 2 or 3 times under the pile, and whoever came up with it, that was the ball. That's what team had the ball.
But I might be a little bit of sociopath because I would get joy.
You weren't even trying to go after the ball?
I would get joy at pinching like that back of someone's leg or their hamstring and hearing them just go, ow!
All right.
I did enjoy that a lot. But
sociopath
anyway,
confirmed.
But hey, listen to how this shit pays off. So first down, they run the ball at the middle, we get a stop. I'm going to work on this dude's leg, right? Getting it. Second down, we get another stop. Going to fucking work, bro. I'm in on the tackle again. I'm pinching the shit out of this guy. Third down, we get one more stop, and they're like, it started probably at like the 7 on first down. Now they're at like the 2.
Have you thought about tackling somebody behind the line of scrimmage,
I
Mick?
thought about it, dude. I tried. I'm a fucking linebacker. The line's got to give me a little push.
Can we get hands
so now
on?
on third down, I'm working this motherfucker. Same guy each time. He gets up and goes, "Fuck you!" Boom! Spikes the ball off my buddy Kevin Burke's helmet. Woo! 15 yards. 15 yards. They got backed up. Now they're at like the 17.
That's right.
Fourth down. They try like a rollout play. They like toss the ball. Right as the kid goes to touch it, boom! He gets fucking crushed.
Nice.
We run off the field. We won that shit.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you win the mental game. You're winning the mental game. And Ben's over here like, I trusted my life with this gentleman. I put my life in this gentleman's hands. Yeah, that's crazy shit, dude. I love that stuff, man.
That little gamesmanship.
I
you know
love
what I mean?
that stuff. I love it. The little shit that gets talked, like who's a mental midget, who's, like little things. I've said this, we've talked about this before, but I've said this. Baseball did not need to do any of this crap that it did. It didn't need to put in the pitch count. It didn't need to stop the shit.
I'm excited to see a baseball game with this new pitch count, to be honest.
All it had to do was give us a pay-per-view option with the players mic'd. It's the most entertaining game in the world. If you just had the mic, just mic the catcher, getting in people's heads with little tiny comments the whole game. You throw somebody an inside fastball and they foul up, you're not fast enough. Just a little bit. And then you see the guy.
All the catchers are doing that? They're like talking shit the whole time?
A lot of catchers. A lot of catchers are in there like, man, this is easy. You can't catch up. You don't have the hands, bro.
I feel like everybody would be canceled within like the 2 weeks.
I don't think the Players Union would ever let it happen.
Yeah.
Because 90% of what the guys are
bad.
talking about in the dugout, they don't want anybody being heard. 90% of what dugout talking about is, so I got in last night at like 11 and this girl still wanted to come over, but I had to like shave my balls, bro.
So basically what you're getting here on Slick and Thick.
Slick and Thick is the dugout talk for you people. But now imagine the game was like that.
Talk.
It's locker room talk. But that like the amazing stuff, like the little chirps. Have you ever watched any hockey chirps? These guys are hilarious. There's one dude, he memorized this guy. His guy got called up from the AHL, the minor leagues, and he memorized like this guy's whole stats. And as he's following around, skating around, he's telling him, "You're not fast enough for this league, bro, but hey, it's okay. You got 1,400 games in the AHL. You'll still have a job." So the next shift, he comes out and be like, "Hey, 0 goals in the NHL, but you got 142 in the minors, bud. That's good stuff." So he's like positively chirping this guy, just letting him know, hey, you can't compete at this level, bud, but it's all right. You're a real good minor leaguer
down there. Yeah, yeah. No, it's good shit. That's good shit.
So to that point, I think the only guy in MMA that Kevin Holland kind of is the only guy that really gets after it like that a little bit, right? I mean, is there anybody? I find
Strickland
Kevin Holland
a little bit.
Oh, Strickland's
He'll talk
nuts
in that.
though.
He'll
But
talk.
Kevin Holland, I find hilarious, especially when he's losing. It's hilarious.
There's I like the hockey chirps. There's like I forget what it's. There's some of the hockey guys. So I've been showing like a lot of the hockey guys, like teaching them how to fight.
That's sick.
Right?
That's
At
awesome.
Barwis.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's been fun. All these dudes are gonna be like. I've watched these kids not know how to throw a fucking punch. To now they're fucking pulling jerseys, throwing fucking right hands, turning their hips, like throwing fucking shots.
If I see one guy next
watch out for the Ducks. Watch the Ducks. It's mostly Ducks players.
If a guy does a little inside leg strip with the skate into the uppercut, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. If they throw an elbow, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, I asked that the first day. They said no. They're like, you get fined.
No, bud.
You get a good
it's
fine.
It's fists only, bud. Yeah.
But I hear there's a really good documentary. I want to check it out. I think it's called Guardians of the Ice or something. It's all about like hockey fights and hockey fighting, which is the most fun, entertaining, exciting part of any sport is when a fucking fight breaks out. Am I right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like even fucking sometimes with UFC fighters, like obviously we're fighting first of all, but then when people are backstage and they're like really like mad and like, you know what I mean, doing shit, and you see the shit on like Fight Week where they're trying to get at each other. That's the best part of that's where you see fucking people like going after it.
But
you know
it escalates sometimes. It really does. I mean, Connor
that's why
that
fighting
guy's
is the
career,
ultimate
right?
sport.
What he threw the shit through didn't somebody scratch their cornea or something like that?
Yeah, no, I mean that shit is too much.
Yeah, Mike Mussina from the Orioles Yankees brawl got his like shoulder torn. So then, not only did he refuse to fight, he refused to throw inside for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Yankees Orioles brawl?
Nope.
Oh, buddy.
Those are some good ones, man.
Oh, buddy.
Yo, how about when Don Zimmer goes after Pedro Martinez and the Yankees Red Sox?
Oh, buddy.
And Clemens is pitching inside on dudes.
Oh, yeah.
And then fucking Pedro just grabs him by the dome and just shoves him to the
Lays
ground.
him, 77-year-old Zim.
Don Zimmer, man.
Dude,
Fuck.
his quote was the best. And afterwards, the quote, and he wasn't even apologetic. I love Pedro. He wasn't even apologetic at all. He goes, he charged at me. He goes on the ground. Well, what do you think? You're throwing at people. Why? I can't throw at people? Wake up Babe Ruth. I stick one in his fat ass, too. Pedro's the man.
Dope. Pedro's dope.
Pedro is the
All right,
man.
I think I got it here.
Oh, let's go. Let's see some of
You
this.
met Pedro, right?
I did. I met him once. I got a funny Pedro story.
Didn't he have a little funny quote for you?
He did.
Hit us with it, but then we'll get this started.
Oh, man.
One sec, please.
Oh, no, you got to go back. You got to see Tino getting drilled.
You tell
you want
your
to see
Pedro
from here.
story.
Oh, you got to see. So
story
that
first.
pitcher, Armando Benitez, I played with. I'll tell you. I can tell you the story. He told me about all of this. So Pedro, I was catching Mark Mulder when there was a great pitcher back in the day. Mark Mulder. He was coming back off of rehab. I was the guy who caught his simulated games. And then they're at A-ball watching Pedro versus Mark Mulder in this rehab start. These guys have 500 major league wins. It's, the only time more than 16 people were at the stadium to watch us play. Pedro, such a classy gentleman, doesn't just buy a spread for like the Mets. He buys a spread for, and when I say buys a spread,
buys a bunch of food.
You get food after the game, but in the minor leagues, it's normally a ham and cheese sandwich that's been sweating out the whole time.
Right,
maybe, PB&J. If it's a big night, maybe you get leftover concession stand food.
Okay.
Pedro has the whole thing like decked out with steaks. Does it big.
Yeah.
Awesome. And there's a dude, John Jay.
Classy move.
Yeah, ended up playing like 10 years in the big leagues. John Jay. Great baseball player. Pedro like owned him. Struck him out 3 times on 9 pitches. And John Jay, Pedro comes in. He's like, guys, I hope to see all of you guys in the major leagues one day. Thank you very much for letting me get some work in. Enjoy the food. And he's like this big. He's as tiny as you think he is. And he has this little kind of like buddy with him who's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, like a tattoo.
He's got like his little buddy. And so people are going up asking Pedro for like a picture and stuff like that. And I remember John Jay going up to him and being like, Pedro, you did me dirty, man. But just give me like a year. Give me a year to get to the big leagues. You got to give me another shot. And Pedro puts his hands on John Jay. And John's not a big dude. He puts his hands like on his shoulders and goes, you're a very good player, I can tell. But you must remember, I am Pedro Martinez. Gives him 2 smacks on the cheek and then walks away. It was the most amazing shit. He go, I can tell you're a very good player. But you must remember, I am Pedro Martinez. Pow. And then he fucking walks away.
Good kid.
Hey, good guy.
Fuck yeah, Pedro.
Oh, Pedro is the man.
Even though I hated him for most of his career, being a Yankees fan, watching him as a Red Sox. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need the Leviathan. You need the dragon to slay.
It's like if I watch a movie and I fucking hate you in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of yours as an actor.
How spoiled were we, man? 90s, early 2000s New York sports fans.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how spoiled. Those Yankees, those Mets teams,
man.
those Mets teams. Those Yankees teams. Look at these guys. I forget even the fact. Look at how they gave a shit.
Look at this stance. Look at this power stance.
So
right
check
here.
this out, right? That guy down the bottom is Armando Benitez, all right? He ends up becoming one of the best closers in baseball, makes $100 million. He's just called up right now. Now, according to him, he tells me, now he was my teammate on the Newark Bears at the very end of his career, great guy. He says he did not want to do this, but the manager, Davey Johnson, he just gave up a home run to Bernie Williams. The manager, Davey Johnson, says, you hit him or I'll bury you in the minor leagues. I'll make sure you never see another game in the big leagues.
Okay.
So now Armando Benitez, who's throwing a legit 100 miles an hour, if it was by today's radar, he'd be a 104, 105 mile an hour guy.
Okay.
Puts one in the back of Tino Martinez. And watch what happens next. Boom!
Ooh, look, you see the way his arms go back? You know that shit hurt. The way he's doing that little chicken move. Like that. Oh, you know that shit hurts.
I didn't want to do it.
Why?
I didn't want to do it. Now, Darryl Strawberry's pissed off. All of this, we're talking
Strawberry's
shit.
Coked up.
We're bullshitting. You can't do that. I got to stand up for my guy.
Get him, Straub.
And now here's where the shit really goes
Here comes
crazy.
The bullpen.
A lunatic from Australia named Graham Lloyd comes out of the bullpen throwing hammers.
That's number 27?
Yeah, from down under. Now Scott Brocious.
Brocious like, look.
And now, bang! We're in the dugout. Ricky Leday.
With
We got
a
Chad
double leg
Curtis.
takedown.
We got Harold Baines, Hall of Famer, with a double leg. Look at the names
There's
out there.
There he is.
You can't stop Darryl Strawberry. You can only hope to contain him. You think it's over. Cooler heads have prevailed.
Girardi.
Joe Girardi says, hey, that's my boy right there. Do you think Rafael Palmeiro, Bernie Williams, look at these names. You think it's over. Nothing is over. Tino Martinez is shaking it off. There's a million cc's of testosterone running through that pile up right now. BJ Surhoff. I did a comedy show for BJ Surhoff's Autism Foundation. It was really cool.
Did you give him a BJ Surhoff?
Well, I mean, it was autism, but, you know, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they love that type of stuff, you know.
And we're going again! This thing is going to end with one of the biggest overhand lefts from Darryl Strawberry ever caught on camera. There it is. Here we go. Round 3. These teams legitimately hated each other.
Looking for Straub. He's in the jacket.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. We're in the dugout. Look at this Yankee team. They didn't just win. They beat you up in your own dugout. They pushed you into your dugout, into your home, and they stole your cookies. They took your wife. They took your soul.
Hey, how about that dude who remember he's getting like called out and then he goes and he fights like the whole other team. I think he was a Red or maybe
yeah.
I forget.
He was a Red Sox.
No. You're talking about the guy who kicks the catcher.
Yes, yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the pitcher who's like motherfucker's like 6'8", 6'9", tall.
We're talking Kyle Farnsworth when he hit the double leg?
No. He
Pull
goes
up Kyle
over,
Farnsworth.
No. Pull this up. Look up pitcher goes to fight the whole team. Look that up.
Pitcher goes to fight.
I'm telling you, when you see this, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Is this it here, Mick? This one?
This gives me so much nostalgia for New York sports.
No, maybe the first one, not the second one. The second one was Manny Ramirez. That was the Roger Clemens one I was talking about with Don Zimmer.
The year is 1998, folks. The Yankees are the best team.
Maybe pull it up.
The Yankees are the best team Major League Baseball ever saw. The Knicks have Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston,
but they still have Michael Jordan to deal with.
Latrell Sprewell. But they went to the finals in '98.
This one. Look at this one. What was he? Red?
Yeah, it looks like a
Washington?
red. Looks like a red.
Yeah, watch this. Look at this.
Oh,
Look at this.
Pirates
Look at
Reds.
this. Look. What? Look. He goes over there. Boom!
Ooh, little Superman
I don't
punch.
care. He's taking on 7 of them
Let's
right there.
go.
He got the whole team.
Let's go.
That's just gangster. He came in with a little.
You love to see
almost
it.
like a euro, like you know the basketball move where he fucking hit he threw a little euro and a punch.
You love to see it. You want it to matter to these guys. You love to see it. I'm sorry. you
Deontay
do.
Wilder hit one of those in a fight.
Did he
A
really?
little euro step. Yeah. Look up. You look up Deontay Wilder. I think he might have knocked out Ortiz with that one.
Wow.
But yeah, that was.
So let me ask you something. As a Yankee fan yourself,
Hey, you saw they just signed Pettit to be a part of like the pitching like consultant or something?
good.
Yeah.
What is Brian Cashman doing?
I don't know.
1 World Series in 23 years, 2 World Series. That Brian Cashman has this. He's still eating off of being the GM of those late '90s, 2000s teams. But those teams were built.
Are they going to make a deal during this All-Star break? You think?
They have to. This team's shot. This
Who are they
team's
gonna
shot.
get?
I don't know.
They get
Ohtani?
Ohtani?
So this is the thing, right? When I was a kid, we had George Steinbrenner, the boss.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even been a thought. Otani's a Yankee already, whether he knows it or not.
Yeah.
Soto is a Yankee. Harper is a Yankee.
Getting all 3.
All of them. What do you mean? What do you mean luxury tax?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No. Japanese Babe Ruth plays for the Yankees.
Duh.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Well, why hasn't it happened yet?
We haven't had a good Japanese player since Hideki Matsui.
Hideki Matsui, phenomenal player.
Left-hander, number
Great
55.
player.
Yeah.
Hit the double off of Pedro when Grady Little left him in. What has Brian Cashman done to deserve this 23-year
I don't
run?
know. Yeah, he's gotten like a
These
lot
were
of
all
leeway.
Gene Michaels players. This was Stick Michaels players. This was Buck Showalter's players. He's eating off of Jorge Posada and Derek Jeter and Bernie Williams and Andy Pettit. They were not his guys.
Yeah.
Since he's been in, who's his guy? Who's he drafted?
Yeah.
Who's his guy?
Judge?
Judge. That's
Right?
one. That's the one.
And they're gonna end up looking at Judge like a fucking Mike Trout, where he's a great player on a team that couldn't get shit done.
100%.
You know?
100 and often injured, carrying the team. You know?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Can you name 23 years?
We're used to Yankees baseball. You buy everyone.
23 years.
Buy me someone.
What is the best? Give me Brian Cashman's top 9. What? Gary Sanchez, Gleyber Torres. You gave him Judge. Who did he draft?
I don't know.
Who has he signed? Robinson
Deals.
Cano.
I don't need. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Cano.
Cano was a player. For
Greg Bird, Clint Frazier. Why is this guy there for 23 years? Hal Steinbrenner is ruining the
He's
Yankees.
like grandfathered in, where he's like an untouchable.
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Aaron Boone. How many times would Aaron Boone have been fired by George Steinbrenner?
Yeah, I'm wondering what's up with that.
Maybe George Steinbrenner was too much, but I'll tell you
Aaron
what.
freaking Boone with that home run's carrying him a long way.
I'll tell
against
you what.
Boston in the ALCS.
As a fan, maybe George was tough to work with, and I get it. He was probably a pain in the ass. But I liked him for 96. I liked him in 98. I liked him in 99. I liked him in 2000. I liked him in 2001.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a guy you want leading your team. You know
What
I mean?
has-
like, that's a guy who's gonna get shit done.
They're just
a winner.
They're just okay, and you can get to the
Steinbrenner's
playoffs with the
he's like a
6th best
Trump.
record.
Steinbrenner's like a Trump. He's like a Jerry
Yeah,
Jones.
yep,
Like he's like,
yep.
you know what I mean? Like he's like, I'd say I wouldn't even put Al Davis totally in that.
Young Al Davis.
You know,
Young Al Davis.
I like the mentality, the win baby win.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But these actually winners.
100%. And I'll tell you what, since we're talking New York sports, and I love that, I'm going to talk about a winner, and I think he's up for the Hall of Fame for the first time in a very long time. Carl Banks needs to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
How do you make an all-decade team and not be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
2-time Super Bowl champion Carl Banks, all decade of the 1980s.
I used to see Carl Banks in church.
Is that right?
He lived kind of in like a town like near me.
Really?
Yeah.
Big guy, right?
Yeah, big boy, big hands.
One of the best off-ball linebackers of all time.
Yeah.
Didn't get the stats because he
'Cause
played
of
in
LT.
coverage, so LT could,
Yeah,
you know,
clean up.
Yeah, but unbelievable player. OJ Anderson is up for the Hall of Fame also. And I got to tell you, although it's hard to feel bad for a guy about to get $10 million, what the Giants are doing with Saquon Barkley's bullshit. What's happening to the running back position is
crazy,
bullshit.
Man. It's crazy. They're like, draft a running back, run them into the ground, draft another running back.
And it makes all the sense in the world financially, but that's messed up.
It is fucked up.
Imagine if they paid you differently per weight class. Imagine if you fought heavyweight. They do, really?
Why not?
They pay you differently per weight class?
I mean, everyone starts with like the same type of contract, but you can't. I guarantee you, the heavyweight champion's making more than the flyweight champion.
Is that right?
I guarantee you.
I did not know that.
For sure.
Really?
For sure. No doubt.
So it's kind of the same thing then. If I'm Saquon Barkley, I'm coming back as a slot receiver. So you're telling me if I play outside the tackle, I'm worth $18 million a year, but if I play inside the tackle box, I'm worth 10?
Yeah.
Guess who plays outside the tackle box?
Yeah.
Guess who's a slot receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I play here now.
Oh, you want to motion me into the backfield? Fine. But I start here.
I'd start here every play.
But I start here.
Start seeing that shit.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
They just had this whole thing where like Austin Eckler, they want to have like a second union for just running backs. The one that got me was that the average kicker makes more money than the average running back in the NFL.
That's wild.
Is that's insanity?
Wild.
So hey, my running backs out there, I've rode you guys to thousands of dollars worth of fantasy football winnings.
And if you're a fucking running back, you're taking your bumps.
Taking the bumps.
You know what? Like
from the
kicker,
Priest
you can't even
Holmes
touch a kicker.
days, from the Marshall Faulk days, I've got so much love for running backs. I grew up watching Rodney Hampton get ran into the dirt by Dan Reeves. Just 30 carries a game behind the world's worst offensive line. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
Listen, don't do it. Come back as a slot receiver. Say, hey, I line up out here. Do the Cordarrelle Patterson thing, man. That's it. I'm a slot. You want to motion me back? You want to hand the ball off? Hey, sure. But I'm a slot. I'm an $18 million slot receiver.
Yeah.
Do it. Forget the system.
I think Giants going to have a good year this year.
I had no idea that the weight classes get paid differently.
I mean, I don't quote me on it, but I'd be very surprised if it doesn't make sense to you. The flyweight champion's not going to make everybody's contract is individual.
I did not know that. I thought it was slotted.
You start out on your first contract unless you're like kind of like special, like if you're like a Brock Lesnar or some, you know what I mean? Like You're coming over some heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much you start out like 10-10. I think it's now 12-12. Then you win, you make like 15-15. Mm-hmm. Then you make like 20-20. You keep winning, it keeps going up.
Got you.
You know, that's pretty much how they structure the contract.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the same thing.
But then once you fight out your first contract, you renegotiate, and it's who knows what it is.
Got you. Okay.
You know.
So then otherwise it wouldn't make any sense.
But yeah, I would almost guarantee that I would basically guarantee that the heavyweight champ is going to be making more than the flyweight champ or the 35 champ. You know.
Well, then why doesn't every 205 go to heavyweight? You know, like I don't. Interesting.
Know.
All right. That's what I would do. I'm a slot receiver and I'm a heavyweight. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm a heavyweight slot receiver.
I'm a heavyweight slot. I'm a David Boston, 300-pound slot. What do you got for us, Nat? Anything before we get out of here?
I think some people said some stuff in the chat right when we, started, but I think they were pretty brief questions. Let me pull them up.
Well, what are those sweet pricks want to know?
Sweet pricks are made of these.
Wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Disagree.
So I said, let me know if you guys have any questions for Slick and Thick. And someone goes, how much weight has G lost doing the standing thing? I don't know what that's referring to.
Standing here, because we stand on the show now.
At least 20 kilos. At least 20 kilos.
How much weight have you lost in our friendship?
I don't know. It fluctuates. A significant amount. At least a fifth grader.
He's at least lost a fifth grader. So what are we talking, like 50 pounds, 100 pounds?
Not 100, no. I was down probably 50
50?
pounds. 50
All
pounds,
right, congratulations.
Thanks,
That's good.
man. Thank you. Yep. Anything else?
And then someone goes, is 2 days of mushrooms in a row too much?
Ooh.
No, but it's going to be harder to you're not going to you're going to have to up your dosage. If you do mushrooms, then you're going to have to probably eat double the amount of mushrooms to feel those mushrooms again.
Is that right?
For whatever reason, yeah.
Huh.
But no, it's not too much. That's good. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. I hope you're out in nature. Hope you're doing some good stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you did it on like a Saturday or a Sunday, then waited a week, you could do the same amount Saturday and Sunday. But if you're going back to back, you're gonna have to crank those numbers up. You know what I mean? Rookie numbers. Tell me all your thoughts on God.
Because I really like to meet her. Oh, so let me ask you that before we get out of here. We got 2 minutes.
You want all my thoughts on God?
Kind of, but not in 2 minutes. We'll start off next one with that. Keats, next time we're in the city, got to take you. It's one of my favorite bars. It's really fantastic. But I tell you what.
Are they sponsoring this program?
They're not. But it's a lot of anxiety when there's like a real karaoke joint like that. Like, you got to pick the right song for the room, man. You gotta like.
Oh yeah,
you gotta bring
you got the cast of Rent.
You gotta bring it.
Dry humping on each other.
And I'll tell you, the one I did that brought the house down.
What was it?
It was "Without Me" by Eminem. Without me.
Because it feels so empty without me.
It's a classic. It's like playing the hit. That song's like 25 years old, bro. It's like playing the hits now.
Down for me, so everybody just follow me, because you need a little controversy, because it feels so empty without me.
Little Hellions, kids feeling rebellious. See, because you don't have to sing.
Right.
You don't have to have any like actual talent.
You don't have to have pipes.
And it's more of a nostalgia bomb for the room.
It's kind of a cheat.
Everybody gets involved.
Code.
Big cheat. Big cheat. You got any other cheats for karaoke?
Actually, I got one thing. This is reminding me to take us out on a nice note. Let's. I'm gonna send this to Ben real quick, or to Christian.
Send it to the group if you can.
Nah.
Little Hellions. Kids feeling rebellious. The parents still listen to Elvis.
What is the group? Quick.
Slick and Thick on Instagram.
Yeah, it's pre-production.
Or you mean
pre-production?
Yep.
Yeah.
Little Hellions, kids feeling rebellious, mad. Parents still listen to Elvis.
I'm just gonna send it to you if it's all right, Christian.
Yeah, it's fine.
Ooh, I just got offered a job. Hybrid media buyer, 120K. If anybody wants a job on site in Boston, you just email that guy. They're looking for a producer. Yep. I got a funny story. One day I'll tell that about Valuetainment. I got a very funny story about that. Very funny. I'll tell you off the air.
I got this video here.
What we got here?
You're gonna sing it.
Oh. For love. Gotta hold on to what we got. It doesn't really matter if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for us. We'll give it a shot. Oh!
Listen up. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, we're living on a prayer.
Nicely done.
Gotta love that.
Good job, homeless guy. Awesome job.
Man, brother got soul.
To all of the great people listening to us, whether you are a teacher, a nurse, or a truck driver, you're one of the great people that make this country go.
Hey,
thank
if you're
you
a nurse,
so much.
Sorry for Gerard.
I'm not. Slide. You know you want to. Slide.
Hit him up.
Hit him up. For the great Mickey Gall, for Ben, for Christian, for Natalie back at Gas, I am Gerard Michaels. This has been Slick and Thick, and we will see you guys Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Peace,
Enjoy.
love you, big kiss. Mwah, 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 mwah.